YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe I'm making this video, but I think it's time to make this video. So as y'all can see in this title, I'm gonna be talking about things that change, a lot of weird things that changed after I lost weight and how I'm treated now after I lost weight. I'm trying not to get emotional because I just never really thought I would be making this video, but like I'm making the video. So the first thing, like a lot of these things I point out are obvious, but some of these things I really didn't expect to happen. So when you first start losing weight, right? When you first start taking your weight loss like very seriously, in your mind, you're like, okay, I have a target area in my body where I want to lose weight at. So my biggest thing has always been my stomach. My stomach has always been very, very big. And I still actually have love handles in my back. I thought they would have been gone by now. So the thing about when you lose weight is that you lose weight everywhere. Like, even if you target a specific part of your body, maybe your stomach, might be your arms, you're still gonna lose weight everywhere. When you burn calories, you burn calories everywhere. So, to give y'all a little backstory, I struggled with my weight my whole life. It's not like I was small and I gained a whole bunch of weight. I really started putting on weight when I was about 5 years old. When I hit 8 years old, I was already 150 pounds. I remember constantly going back and forth to the doctor, and they're constantly telling me, like, look, you gotta lose weight. You're not at a healthy weight. On top of that, you know, it's actually proven that in the Black community and Black families have the most health related problems, or health related, y'all get what I'm saying? It's common in a bunch of Black families, and I have that on both my mom and my dad's side family. You know, overweight, diabetes, cancer, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, vertigo, all that stuff. I have all that stuff on both sides of my family. I think it's more common on my dad's side, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. And yeah, that's the first thing. It's just that you lose weight everywhere. There's really no specific area that, you know, you can't really target one specific area without everywhere else, losing weight everywhere else. Another thing is, you know, this was kind of obvious. Like, this shirt that I have on now is actually, you see how big it is on me? This is a large. Like, I used to could fit a large, like, all the way. Like, you see how my arms like kind of go straight through the shirt? Like, before, my entire arm would fit the entire shirt. And another thing is, I never thought that body dysmorphia was a thing. I was just like, I never really thought it was real until I lost weight. In my mind, I'm still adjusting to the fact that I'm a lot smaller now, because sometimes in my head, I'm still 230 pounds, 240 pounds. My heaviest weight was when I was about, I want to say like I'm around like 19 years old. I'm 23 now, pushing 24. But when I was about like around like 19 years old, maybe 20, I was 265 pounds. But I was also on the birth control shot along with my horrible eating habits. So that contributed to me gaining weight. And also, I don't recommend a birth control shot because the doctor even told me you could gain an average of about 5 pounds every time you take the shot. And you take the shot every 3 months. So, yeah. And, yeah. Going back to what I was saying before, you lose weight in the most unexpected areas. Like, I really wasn't expecting my boobs to get smaller. I kind of lost weight in my butt. Yeah, like really my boobs and my butt, I really wasn't expecting that to get smaller, but it, you know what I'm saying, got smaller. I knew my face would get smaller. I knew my arms would get smaller. I wasn't expecting my collarbone to be sticking out. I wasn't expecting, like, I can see the veins in my hands and in my feet and my ankle bones. They stick out a lot more. It's a lot easier. Oh my gosh. It's so much easier to go shopping now. I'm no way as embarrassed to walk into the mall or walk into a certain store like now I have the confidence to where just about any store I go into, I know I can find something that fits me. Because like, let's be honest, a lot of things are made for smaller people. Like, it's not really a lot of things that are made for like bigger people. Now, within the past few years, it has been like an improvement with like the fashion industry, like Fashion Nova, all the online Boohoo, and you know, all those online shopping sites. But I remember being a child and I kind of had to dress like an older woman, like an older lady. And I remember one of my family members, who shall remain nameless, I remember him saying, "Why do you dress like an old lady?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, there's not really no clothes for me. There's not a bunch of clothes for me." Like, they didn't make clothes back in the day for bigger people. Like, they catered to smaller people. At the end of the day, they still cater to smaller people overall, regardless. And sizeism is a thing, which I already knew this way before. I picked up on a lot of this as a child. People, now regardless of what size you are, you know, you're still gonna run across rude people. But it's so weird how I'm being treated different now because of my size. Now, it's true the fact that I take myself a lot more seriously now, but I get treated completely different. Like, people smile at me a lot more. People ask if I need help with things. People offer to help me with things that I don't really need help with most of the time. People congratulate me a lot more. People are like way more interested in like who I am as a person. And that was kind of an emotional roller coaster for me, because I have always been at least I feel like I've always been a generous person. I've always been a giving person. I always like to help people out and stuff like that. But I did realize when I was big that I was treated completely different. Like, I could feel in my heart, like when I walked into a room, that everybody was just staring at me and everybody was just like, what the hell is she doing here? And some of y'all just can't relate. Like, y'all have been skinny, y'all have been small your entire life. You've never been on both sides of the spectrum. So you can't relate to how it feels. And you probably never know how it feels because you've never been big. You've never been overweight. You've never been pushing pounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've never done that. You've never lived that lifestyle. I feel like people, in a sense, people were a lot more rude, a lot more mean. Excuse me, like I said, no matter what size you are, you know, you're gonna run across rude people, you're gonna run across mean people, but I got treated like I wasn't human. I remember being in school, and y'all remember back in the day, you had the era that hated the LGBT community, like hated people that were, you know, and within that same era, you had people that just hated people that were overweight, that were big. And I remember being a child and I'm walking into the store, whether it be with my dad or my grandma. And I remember mostly like with my grandma, and I remember being stared at like I was just like, I just disgusted everybody. And school was like the worst. It was just like every day I was being called fat. I was being called a pig, or y'all know how the whole bullying goes. And it would piss me off because schools had all these anti-bullying programs, but when it came down to the bullying, they never really did anything about it. I specifically remember being in 4th grade, and I remember going to my teachers and I'm telling them, look, it would be 2 to 3 specific boys every single day that would pick on me, that would call me names. And it got so bad to the point to where I had to go to the principal, because the teachers weren't doing anything about it. They were just saying I was whining. Oh, you know, boys gonna pick on you because they like you. I'm tired of you whining. I'm tired of you complaining about this, about that. But it's like when I would say something back to defend myself, I would get in trouble. Like, I remember I would get in trouble. Now, thankfully at the time, you know, I had my dad. You know, whatever was bothering me, like I had the support of my dad at the time or whatever. So, you know, my dad was the type, he was just like, you know, whatever's bothering you, just, you know what I'm saying, just say what's on your mind. My dad was like he was a very supportive parent. I think he could feel what I was going through. So I really feel like he was there for me, but I feel like everybody else just kind of like tuned me out. This was close to 2 years ago. I think around my birthday in April, going into like May, it'll be about 2 years. This is when, I think I told y'all about this before. This is when I was living in Greensboro. I got invited out to like, it was a bar and a restaurant. And I had got invited out, and I was invited out, right? And you know how you walk into a room or walk anywhere and you feel out of place. So I felt out of place, and I should have left then, but I was just like, well, you know, if I don't go out, if I stay so closed in, because I'm an introvert, if I stay so closed in to myself, then I'm not never gonna be able to develop that confidence like I really want. And so it was me, the original girl that I knew, her niece, and two of her niece's friends. Now, I was like really cool with two of her niece's friends, really cool with them. Well, I had just met them, but like they were very cool. They didn't make me feel out of place, if that makes sense. But I could tell I was being used as a prop. Like, I wasn't being taken seriously. I was just being used so they could get more attention, And I remember it was 4 guys that came up to us, right? And one of them, he spoke to me. He was cool. One of them spoke to me. And, you know, I'm nervous, very shy. And fast forward, speaking to her niece, she was like, do y'all want to come over and do karaoke? And I'm like, yeah. So it ended up being me, the original girl that I met, and, you know, the niece, right? Just all 3 of us. And I asked her, I was just like, hey, you know, I'm not really I'm not a drinker. Could I smoke in your house, or do you have a balcony, or do you have a patio, or whatever? And she literally, she low-key went off on me. She was just like, no, you can't smoke in my house, but I have a porch. You can go smoke on a porch. But mind you, she said this in front of one of the other guys, and he just looking back and forth at me and her like, is we finna be arguing? I really wanted to cry. And I remember before then, was taking a group picture, and I'm just like standing like right there. And so I'm like, well, don't nobody want to take the picture with me? Like, I literally had to say, I want to be in the picture, because one of the other guys, like the same guy that was like standing beside us, like when he thought we was about to start arguing, I'm just like, well, no one's gonna invite me in the picture. I had to sit there and say, like, can I be like in the picture? It's like a million other stories. It's a million other stories I could give y'all. I would have to make a part 2 about it, but I remember just not being treated like I was human. And on top of that, the bullying didn't just start when I was at school, right? It didn't just start when I was at school. Like, it really started with my family. They was really the ones that started bullying me, calling me names, which I can't deny the fact that I was overweight. I can't deny the fact that I was big. You know what I'm saying? But I can always say that I'm not treated the same now. I'm not treated the same. And I'm not saying it's always a bad thing. I like the fact that I'm being respected more. I'm being taken more seriously. But this goes with society too. This goes with society preferring thinner people or smaller people. And it's weird. A lot of people tell me, oh my gosh, you you look skinny. I'm not skinny. I don't care. I don't care. When, to me, skinny is one size. Skinny is one size. I don't feel like skinny has multiple sizes. Like, I consider myself medium size because I'm not skinny. Like, I'm really not. And I got a little meat on my bones. And I actually don't want to be thin. I don't want to be super thin anyways. I used to want to be when I was bigger, but now that I'm smaller, you know, I'm still losing weight, but I don't want to be stick thin. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. I don't want to be a stick figure. Which I don't think my body is created to be like that anyway. I kind of already knew that when I was big. But yeah, like, and also now I have a lot more energy than I did before. I remember doing things before and I would get so winded. Like, doing the most simplest things, I would get so winded. I would be out of breath. I would be tired. I kept trying to figure out, I'm like, why am I so tired? I haven't really done anything today for me to really be tired. And, you know, doing my research throughout my weight loss journey, the more fat that you have around your body, that's causing your heart to work a lot more, and that's causing your body to be being pushed more than it really needs to be. So I was like, okay, I really love the boost of energy that I have, because that really helps me do what I need to do throughout the day, and like I said, not be so winded. And I've lost weight before. This wasn't my first time losing weight, but I would lose weight as in, like, I would lose 20 pounds, I would gain 10 pounds back, then I would lose 10 pounds, and I would gain the 20 pounds back. So it was kind of like an up and down roller coaster for me. But, excuse me, it literally was Thanksgiving 2021. I had this urge inside of me that was just like, look, girl, if you're going to do this, you got to do it now. Because if you don't do it now, you're not never going to do it. And on top of the fact, I already didn't like the way I looked as it was. So I knew what you don't like about yourself, you have to change. That's not up to anybody else to change anyways. And when you lose weight, you do have to lose weight for you. You can't do it because your family wants you to do it, because society wants you to do it, because maybe you went for a job. There's plenty of jobs I went for, and I know they didn't accept me because of my size. I just knew it because I'm not stupid. And I was just like, well, it's up to me to do this. This is not nobody else's responsibility. So from there, I just had this strong urge. I was just like, I got to do it. I got to. And then from there, it was just so weird. I just became very consistent. I drink a lot more water. One of my biggest downfalls was sweet tea. I love sweet tea. I still love it, and I still drink it. But I used to could drink an entire gallon of sweet tea all by myself. When I was younger, I liked juice and soda. But like when I got older, and plus, yeah, I'm from the South, so sweet tea, that's a Southern drink. You know, that's like a really common drink in the South. So sweet tea, that's my juice, that's my soda, that's, you know, all that to me. It's like when I was little, I drank Gatorade and all that stuff. But like now sweet tea is my thing. So, you know, now I drink a lot more water and stuff like that. So yeah, and this video was like emotional. But I'm gonna make a part 2 to this video. I actually gotta get ready for work in about 20 minutes. But thank y'all so much for tuning in to this video, and please comment your experiences. Because like this is a life journey for me. Like this wasn't something that, you know, just happened in a certain period of my life. This is a life journey for me. And I feel like I could make multiple videos about what I went through, how things changed and everything. But thank y'all so much for tuning in to this video. And I'll be back with part 2 very, very soon. And make sure you like and make sure you comment and make sure you subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next video.